Hello, and welcome to FSM News. I'm your host, David Fight. We've got a great show for you all tonight. We have Mike Termont coming on to talk about one of the newest projects from his campaign, followed by Jason Lyon, the volunteer coordinator from You Are the Power, coming on to talk about the newest cause they are tackling out in Georgia. You can check us out here every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on Free Speech Media Corp. And if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, click the link below. Go on over to the Rumble stream. They support their creators better. They're less likely to shut us up while we're broadcasting the truth. And if you're already watching this on Odyssey or Rumble, go ahead and give yourself a high five because you are great. This broadcast sponsored by Blood of Tyrants, the official spirit of 1776. Fuel your fight for freedom or sip on the blood of your tyrannical enemies over at bloodoftyrants.wine. Use promo code FSM to get 10% off your first order. And Crafton Business Services. Have a dedicated, experienced team help you start, grow, or maintain your business with a variety of services tailored just for you. Going over to crafton.us to learn more. Big thanks to our sponsors, supporters, and viewers. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Mike Termont. Mr. Termont, welcome back to the show.
Thanks very much, David. It's great joy to be with you. Thanks for having me on your program.
Yeah, my pleasure. So tell me what's going on. What are you guys doing with this new Lisa thing? It almost sounds like I'm interviewing you about an affair, but
Almost, but not quite. Nancy wouldn't put up with that, but she does put up with our new AI bot. It's actually a lot of fun. LISA stands for the Libertarian Intelligence System Application. It is an AI bot that is Chat GPT based. It is developed by members of our campaign. It is still under development. It's in a beta phase. We have released it to the general public as long as the general public is just, inside the Libertarian Party. But the idea is for everyone to use it, to play with it, to get comfortable with it, and to find where the bugs are. We improve it every week, every month. It's always getting better constantly and continuously. So if anyone finds anything out about it that they disagree with or don't like, let us know. It is a bot that is designed to answer questions, public policy questions, the way a libertarian would. And so it's actually a lot of fun. Those of members of your audience that have used it may have had good experiences with it already. We really enjoy using it.
Nice. So the idea is kind of that people that are new to libertarianism can ask it a bunch of questions instead of blowing up your phone or mine. Is that?
That's exactly right. I don't mind if they blow up my phone. I actually don't mind if they blow up your phone either. But this is another vehicle to help people do that. And you're exactly right. The idea is for Lisa to be really good. It's actually pretty good right now, to be honest with you. But for it to be really, really good by the end of May, so that when we get into the general election campaign, it is a real robust vehicle to reach out beyond the Libertarian Party. I think it'll help in the general election cycle, and we hope that it'll help with the libertarian movement, the freedom movement, more generally than just during a presidential election cycle. We hope it'll help get our message out for years to come.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot because I feel like one of the big issues just with the party, the movement, the everything is that it's easy to, or it can be easy to find out that it exists, but then taking that next step to actually, figure out all the different facets of the ideology and how to get involved and how to everything else, that can take. I know some people that, voted for Ron Paul in 88 or let alone 08 and still are just now getting involved, just now learning stuff like, the war on drugs being a terrible idea. They just missed a couple of those things out of Ron Paul's mouth and they're still, believing what they were taught in the DARE program or whatever. And there's plenty of examples like that.
I think you're exactly right. These presidential election cycles don't last very long. And of course, in our case, in the Libertarian Party, we only participate in the election cycle from Memorial Day through the first week of November. Mm-hmm. That is not long enough, right? Barely more than 5 months. That is not enough time. And so we need every vehicle we can during that period, but we also need, to your point, to keep up the hard work of outreach in every other period, in every other time. And I know that I certainly plan to do that on the other side of the general election cycle, and I think that Lisa will help us do that, help us a lot.
Yeah, I like that a lot because there's I have a few friends that are kind of working on various different projects to almost solve a similar problem, but I think this one's honestly my favorite way of attacking it because it's easy for even you as you're running for president to, put out a Facebook ad or something like that that reaches 500,000 people and they all say, "Oh, that he seems cool. What's this about? What's a libertarian?" And if you Google, I don't know if you've ever Googled what's a libertarian, but you get some very interesting results from that. And it's none of it's congruent. None of it, very little of it is. I can actually have a back and forth with something and ask it questions. You have to
Yeah,
actually show up to your county meeting and go through 3 years of sitting around a bar having these conversations, which is great. Don't
that
get me
is
wrong.
Yeah, that is exactly right. And as proud as we are of, for example, our three websites, that's all they are, right? They're
Mhm.
stagnant page websites. We actually have three websites up because, to your point, there's all kinds of things that you're trying to do because people want to reach out in different ways. So we've got a website for the campaign, MikeTremont.com. We got a website for the platform, which is separately branded, goldnewdeal.org. And then Lisa has its own website at libertarianintelligence.org. And of course, they all link back and forth. But to your point, you need a lot of points of entry because you never know what someone's interests are, what their particular questions are going to be, what's their attitude. Are they looking for a candidate? Are they looking for a platform? Are they looking for something about libertarianism or about the Libertarian Party? And so you got to be able to link out to the party and everything else. It's a challenge.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you guys are attacking this and doing this. I mean, you kind of just did, but tell people how else they can find you and get involved with the campaign.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You can go to MikeTremont.com. That's the hardest one to spell of all the websites
Hmm.
because there's two A's in Tremont. But you can go to MikeTremont.com. You can go to goldnewdeal.org, which talks about the platform, collection of some of the most transformational ideas in libertarian thought. Or you can go visit Lisa and you can connect to Lisa you can find Lisa at libertarianintelligence.org, but you can get there from the other websites too. And I do want to point out that on our website and on Amazon are available a new book, which is self-servingly called A Gold New Deal. And
Hmm.
this book is a collection of essays written by a number of very interesting. Larry Sharp is involved, Max Borders is involved, Dennis Consorte, Irene Mavrikakis. I have an essay in there myself.
Nice.
Um, and the reason I mention it today, David, is not because I'm just pushing the book, but more interestingly, and possibly even more importantly, Lisa has an interview in the book, which I think people would really enjoy reading. I sit down and interview Lisa, and Lisa does a good job of answering my questions. I give Lisa a little pushback in a couple
Hmm.
of places because I don't think that Lisa is perfect in every case, but I think that people will enjoy seeing how interactive it can be.
Hell yeah, that's really neat. I like that a lot. Um, well, Mike, thanks for coming on. This was short and sweet, and I like it.
It was sweet and too short, but we will get together again in the near future. I look forward to seeing you. Thanks, David.
Check out all those links in the description and stick around for more from Jason Lyon and You Are the Power. This episode brought to you by Crafton Business Services. Crafton is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs start, grow, and maintain their businesses by providing a wide variety of products and services to make your business more efficient, manageable, and profitable. Now, Crafton understands how frustrating getting your business off the ground can be. That's why they've put together their business in a box solutions.
A box, you say? Yes.
You can turn your idea or side hustle into a fully functioning company in one place for one transparent cost. For just under $1,000, you get your corporate filing, registered agent, logo, business card design, a marketing strategy, and an accounting consultation to get you started on the right foot. All of that for just $9.99 plus state theft. Or if you're looking for a little more than that, you can add a custom website, web hosting, more marketing material, more time with the marketing team, 5 times the bookkeeping services, and your first box of business cards for $24.99, again, plus state theft. And if you already have a business, Crafton can help you grow to new levels with targeted marketing campaigns, affiliate programs, website and social media redesigns, and more. Go on over to crafton.us to learn more. KRAFTEN.us. Use promo code FSM to help support the show and the network. Liquid Freedom Energy Tea from Blood of Tyrants will have you feeling refreshed and energized to fight for freedom all day long. Jason Lyon, welcome back to the show. Tell me what's going on in this new cause that you guys are doing in Georgia.
Oh, so Georgia is getting ignited in so many different ways. Since the last time I've been on the show, we have appointed a new state organizer. So that is Ryan Ralston. He has been doing incredible work being able to help find vet causes, get people involved. So the last time I was here, we were talking a little bit about the Hernandez family. I am repping one of their fantastic shirts. But we also just went public this last Monday with another family. This is Carrie and Brady Timms. Just a tragic story and very, very similar in a lot of ways to what happened with the Hernandez family, but some really distinct differences and arguably in some ways even worse. That's right, even worse than what the Hernandez family went through, because the Hernandez family, there was an air of potentially, if you just ignore all of the medical advice, because there hasn't been that strong confirmation yet. Well, when it comes to Carrie and Brady Timms, they have a young son named Jameson. And when Jameson was very, very young, about 12 weeks old, they noticed that he was developing some rashes. They were noticing he was developing some conditions. And so being loving parents, they were like, let's go get him treated. Let's go get him checked out. Let's go see what's going on with him. So they took him. Yeah, exactly. So they took him from their home in Georgia. They went up to Tennessee. So they traveled to Tennessee to be like, what is wrong with our baby? We care about our baby. We love our baby. What is wrong with our baby? And they're in Tennessee. Doctors are like, he's fine. No problem. Turns out that's a lie. Anyways, they send baby Jameson and Carrie and Brady home. And a couple weeks later, they go to their physician, pediatrics doctor, and they're saying our baby still isn't better. What is wrong? Like what can we do? Like how can we figure this out? Like what's going on here? So the pediatrician says, hey, go to CHOA. CHOA is, of course, the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, the one that Matt and Tucky Hernandez took baby Emma to in order to seek treatment, where Dr. Pena and Dr. Mesner were amongst the teams that was like, oh, this is clearly abuse, and ripped the Hernandez family apart. Well, in this case, it was Dr. Mesner once again being a part of the team saying, this is clearly abuse, what Carrie and Brady have done to baby Jameson, because he has healing rib fractures, and clearly it's because they were just being vicious to their little baby boy, which is why they keep seeking medical treatment, because they're just trying to understand what it is that they've done wrong. So very, very similar on that front with the Hernandez family. However, where things get interesting is that the Timms family were seeking help. They were trying to find more information, and they actually got connected with a wonderful group, a wonderful organization who helps parents when it comes to quote unquote medical kidnapping, or whenever kids are taken from the home. There's a medical condition there that has led to CPS, DFACS in the case of Georgia, or CPS, whatever department that is for those states. And they help give people resources, answers, community, networks, to be able to find those answers. And so through that, through the Timms family being able to reach out through Parents Behind the Pinwheels, this wonderful network, they were able to say, hey, it's very, very likely that you have, a medical condition here. See if you can petition to the courts. And so Carrie and Brady did just that. They went to the courts and they begged them, can we please take our son, Jameson, take him to Boston, to Boston's Children's Hospital, which is one of the best in the country. Let us take him there. Let's find out if there's a diagnosis. Let's see if there's a medical reason, a condition here that is caused for the problems, the trauma, and the suffering that Jameson's gone through. And the court allowed this. And so Carrie and Brady went way beyond Tennessee now, and they went all the way up to Boston, Massachusetts to bring Jameson there to find answers. Along with them, they had to take DFACS officials with them. And so they travel up. They sit in front of Dr. Hicks. I believe it's Dr. Hicks, a world-renowned doctor, incredible as to what he's been doing. He is his titles literally are longer than the average paragraph. Like just a well-known man and well respected in every facet that he could be a part of. They went before him. And the diagnosis that they received was that Carrie Timms had Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is something where the skin, your bones, and your body just is not very resilient. You will easily have bruising. You'll easily have scrapes. You'll easily have rashes. You'll develop a lot of things, and it's a genetic defect. And so it's a part of her DNA. You can test for this. You can find these things out. But then there was also physical testing that you could do, and you could find extra flexibility in like the wrist or in the joints, things of that nature. And so they found out that Carrie Timms, in front of DFACS, has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And they tested baby Jameson. And baby Jameson has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And so through this giant report that the doctor had provided them, diagnosing both of them, stated that these were the reasons why Carrie was having issues during pregnancy, during the gestational period, why she was struggling through this. This is why Jameson, through being in the gestational period, why he was having some issues and why he was being looked at and having concerns, and why all of the medical conditions and all of the things that they had been seeking treatment for, why this is the answer. This is it, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Mm-hmm. So they knew the culprit, they knew why, they knew here it is. And so they bring that back to the courts. And Georgia DFACS and their attorneys, instead of saying, yeah, we were there, they said, Your Honor, I think that they're in contempt of court for bringing their child outside of state limits.
What?
They were present. And so this is just, from what we can tell, this is the ridiculousness that is the Georgia DFACS. So they get involved and they're just trying in any way to undermine these parents, the love and the family. And so it's a very pointed thing where they're looking to try to force that separation. And so thankfully, they don't really have to worry too much about the family courts anymore. They've kind of won on those grounds. The problem is that when Dr. Mesner and the other team of doctors said that this is child abuse, there was actually felony charges. And so part of that was the parents were arrested, and as part of their bond condition, they cannot have children in their home that are under 18 without being supervised. So ridiculous charges and ridiculous bond conditions against them. And they've been waiting for 2 years at this point, 2 years to be indicted on those charges. 2 years they've been waiting for a grand jury to say, yeah, there's a case here, or there's not a case here, leave this family alone. So for 2 years they've been petitioning and trying to get their case and their story shared in front of a grand jury just to be seen, because the facts entirely lie with them. Anyone who looks at this matter would say, yeah, it is a very unfortunate circumstance. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is not something that you'd wish on anybody else. but they didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
The thing that they did wrong was that they went to a hospital where defects and Dr. Besser and these other doctors are capable and able to rip this family apart. That's where they went wrong. And it is a matter of ignorance and not a matter of not being compassionate, not being caring, not being loving, and not wanting the best for their child.
It's wild that a doctor is the one, I already have enough distrust with enough systems that exist. We don't need to spread distrust in the medical. I mean, like, I already, don't super trust doctors, but but we don't need parents of young children scared to take their kid to the doctor. That's just a ridiculously terrifying precedent to try to set.
They're moving it to a situation where parents should be more fearful of seeking treatment for their children and facing those allegations outside of it than going there and risking seeking treatment to find out what is wrong with your child because you had no involvement with it, but you know anybody who's had a child knows that that child is going to develop bruises because that child is, let's face it, children are incredibly cute. They're just little balls of joy.
Oh, yeah.
But they're not the smartest when it comes to running around the house. They haven't figured out the motor skills to run properly, but they have found a good way to face plants once in a while. So when you have a kid that develops a bruise, and in Georgia, they have in the defects, the Department for Family and Child Services, in their handbook, if a parent cannot explain to you why your child has developed any kind of a condition, bruising or whatnot, it is their assumption that it was because of abuse. Incredible.
Like, you're supposed to watch every second of every day what your kid is doing. I mean, like, you should know if they get seriously injured, but a lot of times a small kid can get a bruise without the kid even really noticing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, and I have my daughter, she's 4 years old. She still to this day runs around and jumps onto things with her knees and her legs. Her legs are bruised up. I'm kind of scared now to let her wear a skirt or a dress, and she loves those things, but maybe I gotta just keep her dressed up for winter for the South Carolina summers. Like, I don't let her show anywhere that there's a bruise because I would hate to be in that circumstance, in that situation. Where
that's a
I'm
red
being
flag
accused.
too. That's because, like, I've been a mandatory reporter for a few different jobs that I've had where I have to say something if I see something. So I've been trained 5 or 6 times over in a few different counties and different job descriptions on what to look for and what to notice. Both as like a daycare worker and a camp counselor, a lifeguard, and like a whole bunch of different things. And like long sleeves in the summer is like way up there on the list, or like long pants in the summer is like a #1 red flag, apart from just like aversion to touch. Like, that's probably like the top thing, is like if you go to just like pat a kid on the shoulder and say good job and they freak out, but that the next up thing is like long clothes.
Are they hiding themselves? Yeah. It's getting to where for me as a parent that I'm concerned if I ever go to Georgia, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't.
I mean, just don't go to Georgia. There's no reason to go to Georgia. It's like...
Points are being made. Points are being made.
So what are next steps for this? What are you guys doing? How can viewers help you do those things?
So if anyone wants to find more information on the Timms family, of course, you guys can go to youarethepower.net/Timms, TIMMS, 2 M's. On there, we do have, if you guys are capable and able to, these are families that have been living their lives and doing their thing and been trying to, have a healthy home, be able to buy their things and take care of themselves. And then they get thrown into this chaos And so suddenly now they've got to pay for an attorney. Or in the case of many of these families, when they get involved against defects, both parents have to have separate legal representation. So the financial burden for these families is just exorbitant. And so there's an opportunity there. We do have the links in order for people to donate if they have that. But the biggest thing is just to be able to see more of the story. We have the opportunity. We have a template and people that you can send letters to. For the Tims, we're sending this to the acting district attorney. It's kind of an interesting circumstance that they're in. The district attorney was promoted to becoming a judge, and so now that we have an acting district attorney there, he's looking to get appointed by Governor Kemp to become the district attorney. And so we have an opportunity right now. So anyone who's hearing this, go ahead, feel free to send Mr. Earl an email. And we have the template laid out. This has a lot of facts to the story. This says, look, I am concerned for this. Here are the facts of the case. Here's the diagnosis. Here's all of this. It is undeniable when you look at the preponderance of evidence that no grand jury is going to find them guilty. Stop wasting the Georgian taxpayer dollars in trying to prosecute this. Just let it go, dismiss the case, and let's move on. And so there's an opportunity. Once again, that's at youarethepower.net/Tims. And that's arguably the best way to get involved to help out this family. We're currently working on those campaigns to be able to help make those contacts. They have been early on of us sending these emails. They have been responding to us. So they are receiving these. And I would love to see it where a day doesn't go by that they're not hearing about the family of the Tims and how they need to be a part of. It costs nothing. It costs absolutely nothing for them to say, let's go ahead and petition to the courts to dismiss this case and let's let this be the right thing. And so we have an opportunity to spread human respect, to respect these parents, to respect these families, to respect the institution that is what has made America be able to be what it is. And that's a loving family and a loving community. So let's reunite this community. Let's reunite this family. And it costs absolutely nothing for them to go forward and to dismiss this case. And so you guys can all help out and send letters in that effect.
Hell yeah. Guys, definitely. Link's going to be in the description. Go do that. Jason, it sucks that you have to come on here and talk about these kinds of things. It's like a heartbreaking time every time I talk to you. I feel like we never have a happy conversation. We're going to have to change that. But it is great to hear that there are people doing something about it. Like 2 years of this BS is insane. Hopefully we can make sure that it's not 3. Like I said, like it's heartbreaking, but it's good to hear that there's something in the works to make it a different outcome than hundreds of families throughout the state have probably already faced.
Yeah. And hopefully next time we come on, we're going to talk about how the Hernandez family is reunited. We're going to talk about the Tims family being reunited. We have another family coming down the way. So make sure if somehow, some way, the Hernandez family and the Tims haven't broken your heart enough, we have another family in Georgia coming down the pipeline. So make sure you guys are all tuning in, of course. YATP official. You can find us on the social medias. You can find us on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, all of the places. We're going to be coming out with more stories. And hopefully we're going to reunite that family and the next family and the next family and the next family. And we're going to actually be able to tackle this and make some substantive changes, not just for these families, but for Georgians and for people across the country to say, you know what, with the right opportunity, with the right tactics, we will make a difference. We will be working to help good families who don't deserve to be harassed and attacked. We will restore human respect. And so hopefully next time I'll have some better news for you.
Hell yeah. Thanks for doing this, and thanks for coming on to talk about it.
Always appreciate it, David. I appreciate it, man.
I'm Spike Cohen. You are the power, and together we're about to change everything.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this around to all of your friends and family so that they can be informed on what's going on. Check the description for links to Lisa, the Termot campaign, You Are the Power, and to help out the Timms family cause down in Georgia. We'll be back next week. Until then, keep up the fight.